And what I mean by college basketball, they announced the what is it? The Orion's 180? Is it Orions or Orions? I'm assuming it's Orions.
Yeah, I think it's the Orion 180 inaugural tournament.
Okay, it's going to be a Benchmark International Arena November 2nd between the Gators. They're going to play the Hurricanes, and then Florida State's going to play Florida A&M, and all of the coaches are in town today. So as of now, Todd Golden is expected to be on the show. He's scheduled to be on the show at 1:45. You think it happens?
Yeah, I think it happens. I think it'll be great, and especially to have him on again. And it's called the Orion 180 Tip-Off Classic. Excuse me.
And it's not that I don't think he will be. I just know how these pressers go, and then you try to squeeze in radio. We're off it too. There's a lot of people are going to have to be on their game. It's really tough in these moments because you don't know. Look, we prepared for an interview. We'll see what happens. 1:45, be here. You might hear Todd Golden. And Todd's always welcome on the show because last time he was on the show, we got to be part of a March Madness broadcast. They played part of the interview on CBS, which was so cool for me because anyone that has been listening to me for the years, over the years here on WDAE, I love March Madness. So it was awesome to I just remember sitting there with my brothers and the TV was muted at the time. I think I was like grilling something and we were like getting ready to eat. And my brother goes, "Hey, rewind that. I think I just saw your name on TV." And there it was, me talking to Todd Golden. All right, back to the Rays. They're coming off of two games. They win the series 2-1 against the Angels. They did what they were expected to do. I say with Detroit, I'm not happy with 2-1. Get all three of them. There's no reason to let this team win any games coming into the Trop, especially the Trop where the Rays have been just so good at home. And the one thing that the Tigers do is they just blow. No team has blown more leads in late innings than the Tigers. So even if the Rays are down going in the series into the late innings, never count them out because they're a team that never goes away, and the Tigers like to let teams right back in it. I was looking at the power rankings, and I don't really go over MLB power rankings very often. It's not like we're not super intrigued in these like we are in the NFL power rankings or college football because I think when it comes to baseball, you really only care about your team and your team only. You think about like in the NFL, for example, Sunday Night Football. You're probably going to watch Sunday Night Football, no matter who the teams are, even if it's not the Buccaneers. How many times have you watched Sunday Night Baseball this year? Let's be honest. The average person, maybe once because there was nothing else on. For example, if you didn't watch Sunday Night Baseball last night with nothing else on, you're probably never watching it. And I'll be honest, I didn't watch it last night. Don't even know who played. Actually, I do. It was the Cubs in St. Louis. I lied. I did watch it for one inning. I forgot. I did have it on for a second, like right before I went to bed. But I didn't watch. I didn't really watch. It was just kind of there. But I did want to look at these power rankings because I thought they were kind of interesting. So they're weekly power rankings. And I thought what I found fascinating, like I know the Rays didn't have a good week, right? So you have the Braves the Braves are number 1, which I'm fine with. The Dodgers are 2. You expect that. The Brewers, who are the Rays of the NL, number 3. And then it's number 4, the Yankees. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays moved down a spot. The Yankees moved up a spot. And the Yankees are 36-23. The Rays are 36-20. Of course, the Rays are in first in the AL East, and the Yankees are in second. But the Rays are behind the Yankees. And if you said, well, it's a weekly power rankings, and it's all judged on what they did last week. Well, if it was judged based on what they did last week and only last week, well, then the Rays would probably be 29th or 30th because it was a really bad week with that 4-game stretch. The last 7 games, they've lost 5 times. They're 2-5. So if it was just a 1-week power rankings, then they'd be at the bottom. But after that bad week, they're 5th. So it goes by the entire body of work throughout your season. So if it goes by the entire body of work throughout the season, how are we below the Yankees? Now, does any of this matter? No. Does it matter in the long run? Absolutely not. I just find it silly that they are 5-1 against the New York Yankees. They lead the AL East, and you still have the balls to put the Yankees above the Rays. Like, come on. Sometimes you just see things, and you're like, all right, I kind of want to call that out. I have the platform to do it. I wanted to do that today. I have no problem with the Braves and the Dodgers being 1-2. Honestly, I don't think the Brewers, you know what? They did win the head-to-head matchup against the Rays. They won that series. I have no problem with them at 3. And that's probably why they have the Brewers ahead of the Rays, despite the Rays having a better win percentage.
And not for nothing, in the last 10 games, New York is 6-4 while the Rays are 5-5, so it wasn't even a big difference.
Interesting. Didn't even realize that. Yeah, the Yankees' 4th just doesn't make any sense. It's like in college football. We go by the roster and the recruiting, rankings rather than what we actually see on the field. Like, how do you have a team? These guys have played 6 times. One team has won 5 times and lost once. And yet you rank the other team better. And maybe when they get into the playoffs, maybe the Yankees go further. Sure, that's fine. They have this payroll they're expected to. They have incredible pitching, and they're going to be in our way. I know that. And again, does any of this matter? No. I find it so stupid how you could even put this in print and let the world see that you have that team ahead of them. So I found that kind of fascinating. The Yankees have played 3 more games. They've lost 3 more times. 36-23, 36-20, and again, the head-to-head record is 5-1. It's like it's kind of like the college football playoff last year.
Yeah.
When they had Notre Dame ahead of Miami all year long until the end. Then they're like, oh, hey, all of a sudden, Miami, you're better.
Yeah, Nick, I think you hit the nail on the head. Again, there were plenty of teams all throughout college football last year that were playing better than some of the quote-unquote major programs, but because they were major programs, though they always got a step ahead in terms of the rankings. Didn't matter.
Yeah, it's kind of college football, that one kind of drives me nuts the way they do the rankings. And I love how they put out a ranking before the season even starts, and it's like, well, how do we really know? And again, none of this will matter down the line. I see the Rays in 5th, and I see the Yankees in 4th. And had I not seen that, we're not even talking about it. But that was the one thing that stood out to me. I'm like, how, why? Make it make sense. They're 5-1 against the Yankees. Can you make it make sense for me, Tim? Does it make sense at all why the Yankees would be ahead of the Rays?
That's what I've honestly been trying to look up. I mean, again, I said the Yankees were 6-4 in their last 10. The Rays are 5-5. So it's not like the Yankees had a dramatically better week and a half than the Rays. So I honestly can't. Outside of they have Aaron Judge, Stanton, Cole.
It's because of the roster.
It's because of the roster. Exactly.
It's not about what you see on the. You know what a good roster last year? Penn State.
How did that work out for them?
Yeah, how did they do? James Franklin ended up getting fired. Now he's at Virginia Tech. Matt Campbell's the coach of the Nittany Lions. It all fell apart. You know what I did like this weekend? And, we get on him a lot when he does bad. And, Friday night was horrible for Junior Caminero. He's flopping all over the place, going after balls he has no business going after. Was it Nick Martinez on the mound Friday night?
Yes.
Yeah, right as he was walking off. I think it might have been his final inning. He just looked at Junior like, what the hell are you doing, man? And there was just a couple plays where Junior went after a ball. He just had no business going. It was almost like, you're in the way. Just get out of the way. And they end up taking him out of the game, and Taylor Walls goes in at short, and they move Oliver Dunn to third, which I think that's something you're going to see going into the ninth more often. But as hard as we are on Junior for his defensive ability, I got to give him credit for yesterday's game. He played his best, I felt like, overall game. He was so good in the field, and he helped create a double play, and then he made the final out of the game, which was nice too, which was very fitting. But there was also a moment in that game on the offensive side where he hustled to first on I guess you could call it a hit bunt. It was a bunt hit. Like, he swung, but the ball was essentially a bunt. But he ran as hard as he could to first, and he beat out the throw, and that's something you don't always see a power hitter do. So props to Junior for doing that. I got to give him respect. A couple people are texting in. We're 4-1 against the Yankees, not 5-1. That's my bad. I forgot that Saturday game did get rained out. Otherwise, it would be 5-1.
Just got that call.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it's funny, man. People like, and I appreciate our audience doing that. I know not everybody means to be like a smart ass, like, hey, you screwed up. I want to point it out. That's right. That game did get rained out. Otherwise, it would be 5-1. All right, I want to get a little football in the mix. We'll do that coming up next.